Today you will learn much more about Ballantine's whisky and the complex flavours. As you sip the whisky, you will begin to understand all the different flavours and how these whiskies are brought together. There are 5 countries throughout the world that are famous for producing whisky. These countries are Scotland, Ireland, the US of A, Canada, and also Japan. But Scotland has the biggest concentrations of distilleries all over the country and has a really rich history of making Scotch. There are 2 types of Scotch whisky: malt whisky and grain whisky. Malt whisky is produced in traditional copper onion-shaped stills and produces a heavier, fruity distillate. Grain whisky is produced in a continuous copper column still and produces a more delicate whisky. George Ballantyne was an absolute pioneer in blending malt and grain whisky to make batches of Ballantyne's blend. Ballantyne's whisky was first founded in 1827. Amazingly, there is nearly 200 years of history of making fabulous Scotch whisky. Ballantyne's Finest was first produced in 1910, and prior to that, it received a royal warrant from Queen Victoria in 1895. Ballantyne's 17-year-old was first produced in 1937 and has an amazing reputation throughout the world. It even is referred to by loyal consumers as the Scotch. In the nearly 200 years of Ballantyne's, there have only ever been 5 master blenders, each one dedicating their career to the quality of the Ballantyne's family of whiskies. I myself were very privileged to work with both the previous master blenders, Jack Gowdy and Robert Hicks, each one very, very fastidious in making sure the quality and the continuity of the Ballantyne's whisky stays the same year after year and into the future. My job is to test all the samples and approve all the batches of Ballantyne's as they're made. If it's Ballantyne's Finest, all the way up to 17-year-old, even to Ballantyne's 40-year-old. Every week I am testing thousands of cask samples to make sure the quality and the flavour is just correct. On every single bottle of Ballantyne's, on the crest, the 4 essential elements in making Scotch whisky are depicted on the label: spring water, copper stills, casks, and of course, barley. In Scotland, there are 4 main whisky producing regions: Speyside, Highland, Lowland, and Islay. The Speyside whiskies produce a rich orchard fruit character. The Highland whiskies are more robust and spicy. The Lowland whiskies are more delicate and floral, and the Islay whiskies are smoky and peaty. Ballantyne's whiskies takes whisky from all those regions and brings it together to make a smooth and complex blended whisky. Ballantyne's Finest is a very complex and smooth whisky. In its formula, it contains whiskies from all the 4 main whisky producing regions of Scotland. And it also has more than 40 malt and grain whiskies in the recipe for the whisky. On the nose, it's really sweet with vanilla, a little bit of floral notes in there, and some lovely red apple. And on the taste, it is really sweet with a little bit of caramel in there and a really long finish. Ballantine's 7-year-old is 100% matured for 7 years in American oak barrels. The whisky is particularly sweet, and on the nose there is sweet red toffee apple and toffee. It has a real viscous, sweet, syrupy flavour and is incredibly long on the palate. Ballantine's 10-year-old is a very special whisky. It is using whiskies from all over Scotland, but is also using 3 different cask types: American oak barrels, European oak butts, and hogsheads. These all come together to make a very complex and sweet whisky. On the nose, it is really vibrant. It has sweet orange, particularly for me, sweet clementine orange. It has a lovely zesty note on the palate and has a sweet, long finish. Ballantine's 10-year-old makes amazing highballs that are really refreshing and sweet. Ballantine's 17-year-old has an amazing reputation throughout the world. First produced in 1937, it is the only whisky in the world that has been continuously available at 17 years old since that date. It is a complex whisky and features Glenburgie and Milton Duff, the 2 key foundation signature single malt whiskies in the blend. On the nose, it is full of sweet pear flavours and a little bit of vanilla fudge in there as well. And on the taste, it fills the mouth with sweet pear orchard fruit character. And as that gently ebbs away, you get a little bit of smoke on the finish, which is just tantalising. Ballantine's 17-year-old tribute release is a very special whisky for me, and I really enjoyed creating this whisky. It is only available in Japan and was specially created for the Japanese consumer. It is bottled at 48% volume and is non-chill filtered, so has a real concentration of flavours and character. On the nose, it is very sweet. I get peaches in syrup and also marmalade, sweet orange marmalade coming through. There is just a sensation of smoke just at the end. When you taste the tribute release, it will fill your mouth with those wonderful sweet peach flavours and amazing sweet caramelised toffee. The finish is really long, smooth and creamy. It has been a great honour for me to share with you information about the Ballantine's family of whiskies. To be able to tell you a little bit about the history and how we make all these amazing expressions in the Ballantine's family. I hope you will all continue to enjoy Ballantine's and perhaps explore some of the other expressions on your whisky journey. Kampai.